Are you serious? The Illuminati! I'm serious, folks. The shadow government, the global elitists, the Luciferians, those that go to the Bilderberg conferences or the Bohemian Grove worship of Moloch. What? And we don't even want to talk about the Skull and Bones or the Masons. But what we do know is somebody's controlling all sectors of the governmental structure of the United States, and has been, folks, for a long time. Don't want to burst your bubble. Don't want to mess up. Don't want you to get a bad hair day. But I do want you to know it is happening. Matter of fact, there has been several former presidents of the United States who have left in writing concerns to this very issue. Let me give you an example. George Washington, the first president of the United States, wrote that the Illuminati wants to separate the people from the government. He wrote these words. He says, "It was not my intention to doubt that the doctrines of the Illuminati and principles of are not spread in the United States. And on the contrary, no one is more truly satisfied of this fact than I am. The ideal that I meant to convey was that I did not believe that the lodges of Freemasons in this country had, as societies endeavor to propagate the diabolical tenets of the first or precarious principles of the latter, if they are susceptible of separation, that individuals of them, many actually had a separation of the people from the government in view, is too evident to be questioned." George Washington, first president of the United States during the years 1789 to 1797. From a letter that George Washington wrote on October 24th, 1798, which can be found in the Library of Congress. For an analysis of Washington's writings, you can go to the Library of Congress, look under George Washington Warns of the Illuminati. Now, he wasn't the only president to speak like this. Thomas Jefferson said these words, "I sincerely believe with you that banking establishments are more dangerous than standing armies." Thomas Jefferson. He, of course, said these words. He was the president of the United States from 1801 to 1809. And he wrote, and principal author of the United States Declaration of Independence back in 1776. He wrote this in a letter to John Taylor on May the 28th, 1816. So this was 7 years after Thomas Jefferson left office as president. The original author of the Declaration of Independence begins to warn of a dangerous banking system, which is more dangerous, in his words, than a standing army. And John C. Calhoun, the vice president of the United States from 1825 to 1832, wrote these words, "A power has risen up in the government, greater than the people themselves, consisting of many and various powerful interests, combined in one mass, and held together by the cohesive power of a vast surplus in banks." In other words, the leverage the banks, the few bankers, have on this nation is enough to cripple its ability to govern the people that it represents. Matter of fact, here's what Franklin Delano Roosevelt said, the 32nd president of the United States from 1933 to 1945. He wrote these words, "The real truth of the matter is, as you and I know, that a financial element in large centers has owned the government ever since the days of Andrew Jackson." He wrote this in a letter to Colonel Edward M. House on November the 21st, 1933, as quoted in FDR's personal letters. Okay? So, and it goes on and on and on. I've got more quotes from more presidents and former leaders of this nation, all confirming in writing that there is a shadow government at work. Some people have said to me, well, I don't think we have to really worry about it, Paul. But the Bible does speak of this. It speaks of a beast rising out of the sea with 7 heads and 10 horns, and it's led by an antichrist. Now, before the shadow government that manages, no doubt, in the background, lurking in the darkness, controlling major political positions of power, both in the Senate and in the House and the White House, if you will. They pull the strings. They throw the big PAC money out. They choose their chosen ones. And so if America and if the world is going to understand that the system in play is not to bring about freedom for all, but control for many. And you as a believer in Jesus Christ are in this world, but you're not of this world. And so you must prepare yourself for the things to come. The Bible tells us that there will be an antichrist that will rise in the last days. It says that for the iniquity, the mystery of iniquity doth already work. I'm in 2 Thessalonians 2. For the mystery of iniquity, verse 7, doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way. In my book, Mark of the Beast, RFID, I help explain the rise of the New World Order and how it relates to Bible prophecy and these end times. The shadow government is lurking in the shadow.